So the past month has been the hardest for me financially than all these other months beforehand. Before, there was always some sort of income, or at least I had like a big check that I was waiting on for a while. And yeah, everything wasn't as stressful, and I didn't have to just worry about money. I didn't have to worry about paying the bills. But this month, there seems to be no signs of any promise of a check anytime soon, really, except for these really small checks that I've been getting from Uber, who just pay far less. It's just not enough to cut it anymore for all my bills. So I've been looking for employment elsewhere, and I've been looking for just money elsewhere. And all this financial hardship and all this material struggle aside, it's also been the most fulfilling month of my life in a very long time, maybe even just ever. As I've said in these videos recently, that I've actually hit a point of productivity that I've never reached before, and I'm constantly kind of in the zone, and that's been extremely fulfilling. And within the last week or two, within the last week, I've started to understand that this level of productivity isn't something I can maintain 100% of the time, even though I'm giving my all. It doesn't have to be lasting throughout the entire day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would like it to, but honestly, I don't think that's possible for anybody. I don't think I've ever heard that from anyone, that they just are just on it, like every waking second. You do have to take breaks and stuff, and that's something I knew, and that's something I've said. I'm always like, I know, and I do, and I'm like that. But that being said, those breaks are far and few now. So that's really crazy to me. That's really awesome to me. So there was a bunch of other things that I was talking about that day that I was walking around at the park, but a lot of it I was just sort of rambling on about things that were like way too specific, and just I don't really I don't know exactly what this whole video diary thing is, but one of the things about it is I don't want to get too lost in the details of my life. I think one of the main things I really enjoy about this is the ability to reflect on my just current mindset in the most abstract ways, because it usually allows me to understand how I'm approaching those specific things in my life. So these videos, speaking in abstractions, so I personally can deal with those specifics, but speaking of those specifics in the video is not something that I find very interesting to edit, or very interesting to look back on, because I do watch these videos back, and I do use it to kind of check myself, I guess. And yeah, it was that day at the park, I was just speaking about specifics too much. So there was only that couple minutes worth that you just watched, probably. Something that's been really interesting to kind of get back to what I was talking about that day, about my whole, even though I'm in financial hardship, I've actually been feeling really well. What's been really interesting about that has been this sort of state of calmness that I've been able to, or just state of being calm that I've been able to put myself in amidst all of these problems that I'm running into. And I'm straight up I don't have enough cash to be paying these bills. but somehow I kind of have been able to truck on. I'm just doing what I can, basically. And it's been pretty fun, and it almost feels like vacation, because it doesn't feel like a lot of these things don't feel like work. I've managed to make my jobs feel kind of just way easier. And they were already really easy to begin with, but it just feels a lot easier to kind of get in the zone. And then aside from my jobs, it's like when I'm not doing that, I'm able to actually work on my personal projects. So developing the game and doing pre-production work for my film. And it's easy to go back and forth. It's so much easier to change gears now. I think the one thing that used to like stop me from being able to do like anything that would like really put me in a rut and make me so unproductive was like the fear of financial hardship, or just like all these things that I had to take care of. And yeah, I mean, like, I have to feed myself and I have to keep this roof over my head. The truth of the matter is that I live an extremely privileged lifestyle. Even with all the hardships that I can face, it's not, I'm not being, my life isn't being threatened, you know? As quickly as I could be evicted from my apartment, I guess, it's not quick enough to the point where like I would be out in the streets homeless or anything like that. I have too much privilege to really be afraid of like legit hardship. So that's actually been enabling me lately. It used to scare me, the idea that, oh no, what if I don't pay my bills? Oh no, what if I can't afford these like electricity bills that power my oven and my lights and my computer, and I need my computer to work, or like that's the catch-22. It's like, how can I make money if I can't do my job because the power is out? And it's like I can't pay the power. It's like this weird loophole things. But what it really comes down to is there's just way too many options available to me, and all those things aren't as dire as they might seem, and they're a lot more easily they're easily remedied when you think about it. When you think, well, what if this does happen? It's like, oh, I would just do this or that. So yeah, I no longer succumb to fear. The one thing that used to make me do less was fear, which is really weird because, I used to think like if there was anything that would make you want to do more, it's fear. But maybe it's like you need more. Maybe I needed more of it. Like maybe if I really wanted to kick into gear, like I'd fucking have no safety nets and I'd live in a really fucked up environment, but I live in too safe of an environment to really be that scared. So now I'm able to kind of get over these things because I know that I'm in a position that I should be pretty grateful for, and I'm taking advantage of that now, and I'm actually trying to use my time as wisely as possible, without of course losing my mind, still being somebody who spends like way too much time alone. So